This video is made for entertainment purpose only. It doesn't mean to hurt any. And don't take it seriously.
Sir, did you make any phone calls after you went to bed between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
But you're so full of shit.
You inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know
because it was inadvertent.
But you're so full of shit.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time.
Nasty.
You're so full of shit.
From McCabe when she,
Karen Reed and Kerry Roberts
found John O'Keefe's body.
I think she's passed away.
Got him donuts. 6 donuts. Donuts. I've been doing it there for years.
What's up, people?
Responded some of my questions. Defendant responded. Okay, which? Ask again. I said, nope, tricks are for kids.
For kids.
It's showtime.
Late night with JFK. Real cool, intimate setting tonight. Keeping it real low key. How we feeling out there? Vibes are going to be slow motion. We got Lisa. How you doing, Lisa Graham? How are you? Read between the lines. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. Hey, JFK and James. James is not in the building tonight. James is probably in La La Land somewhere. And if he checks in, hopefully he jumps on the live. If not, we're just going to rock out. Going to keep it real silent. Real nice and mellow. We're going to do, late night magic. Wow, writing in the paper, huh? Well, that's a beautiful thing. What were you writing, Lisa? What were you writing? Writing is a beautiful thing, you know. Get your mind off things, get in that creative space. Writing is it's crazy the vibe it could take you to, the levels it could take you to for your mind. Gotta have patience. A lot of people think they can write, and most people could write something maybe once or twice, but to continuously write and dive into writing and penning, it becomes very tedious, and most people don't want to do it consistent. And it's like editing videos is no different than writing. Making music's no different than writing. It's all a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? Making a story. Tedious work. Most people say, hey, I could do that. Yes. People downplay it. Like, it's nothing. You're just writing something, you're reading something. Big deal. I'm a construction worker. I swept all day. Yeah. Well, try writing. Try writing. Unsuccessful. It projects. Power and writing the brain go hand moments. Yes. Yes. Well, I dropped a video earlier. Matty M was on the backup. He was in the car with J.F.K. Seen the video that I've been, the waterfall video that I go over. And I always ask the question at Karen Reed, should she make a video? Something new to kind of point to that new waterfall video of John. Basically showing John knew it was an on-site type fight. I don't think he went to that house based after seeing him do this. We seen him do the heel toe, but then we seen him do this. And that kind of solidified that it was 100% a fight. And Matty M was on the backup because he was in the car with Jen. Writing, well, takes discipline. Yes, Linda, it sure does. Linda. Sure does. It does. It does. It just gives you an idea that John knew something was going on, right? And he went there to confront this issue. Something happened. Hey, Michelle with the $10. Wow. Everybody be a Michelle, you know? You got 39 people. Everybody sends $10. My night will be great. I appreciate that, Michelle. I really do. Thank you. Appreciate all the love, everybody talking. I'm going to try to get to everybody. Sure chat, people. Sure chat. For sure. So we can all agree that something went down that night, right? And that John knew about it. How could you be in a vehicle if you're Matty M? Matty M was on the backup. How could you be in that car not knowing when he's talking to your wife? John's talking to Jen McCabe. Dare I say that's the last person he talked to? As far as communication goes on a telephone, cell phone, whatever you want to call it. Yikes. You are loved. He had to have known and was willing to put himself there to discuss. Yes. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Let's watch a little. Excuse me. We got Lisa Graham. God is good all the time. God is good all the time. God is here. God is love. People say to me sometimes, we live, our legacy lives on through the storytellers, right? When this is all said and done, and this goes down to history like the Charles Stewart case in Boston, Massachusetts, which is all evil shit. It's all evil. Sean Ellis, Boston hip hop, Boston Celtics, just Massachusetts stuff. I've been a part of a lot of great things. And I feel like this is a great thing too, as far as the community goes, bringing us all together. Just a bad thing that unfortunately we're reporting on that brought us together. But sometimes that's the way it works, right? And when it's all said and done, I did it for the love. I didn't do it for the clout. God is love. God is good all the time. God is love. That's what I do it for the love. Forget the money, forget the fame, forget the likes and all that. And obviously it comes with it. We all got to feed our families and we all need it. And it helps with the creative process. So you can continue to do this, buy different equipment and, StreamYard itself, this software we all know is not free. And things ain't free. And unfortunately, it is what it is. But we do it for the love in the end, for the love, the creative process. Try to be creative. And every time I come on these lives, I try to be the most creative. Try to be an artist. I'm a content creator by default, but I'm an artist and a writer. That's who I really am. And obviously, they'll dumb it down and say he's just a content creator. Some people say he's chasing this, and all the evil people will say what they say. But at the end, it's for the love. Bring us together, and we're here to document the times, and I'm here to help you with the ride. I'm your pilot for this evening. 2 things open at 3 a.m., 7-Eleven and Jen's Legs. Well, from bad things, good things too. Check this out.
No, I didn't.
But you did text John.
Yes.
Let me take that down real quick. Let me take that down right quick. Let me bring that back.
Didn't text Karen, correct?
No, I didn't.
But you did text John.
Yes.
Look at John's reaction, people. John's reaction. And that's Karen right there. Karen is not even, she's just talking to Karina. She don't want nothing to do with anybody at that point. She knows they're acting like buffoons. And John just can't believe this is happening. Let's watch it again. Heel toe, heel toe. Can't believe this is happening, John's saying. Come on.
The front door, Kay.
It's good. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
Guy never went in the house. That was you talking about how you should all get your stories straight, correct?
No. That's part of the same text. Yes.
Mr. McCabe, who was the guy that you were referring to? Does he have a name?
That would be John. John O'Keefe.
I want everybody to take a look at John O'Keefe. R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe. John, I never met you, buddy. It's wrong what's going on with your death. Everybody's staying strong for you, and we truly believe you will get justice, John. Father God, we don't say it enough. Father God, I love you, Father God. Father God, I love you, Father God. We love you, Father God. John, I never got to meet you, man. Boston police officer. They did you dirty that night. You was drunk, John. You knew what was going on. And you knew when you stepped out that car. It was ego. And it was on. I don't know what was said between you and Karen. And tonight's live, John, is not about me even talking about Karen at all. Be honest with you. She was in the car with you. And I'm sure She knows something, but that's besides the point. Maybe she knows nothing. But John, you knew. You knew, John. And we got to bring these fools to justice. And we got to bring it through the Karen Reed movement. Free Karen Reed. Some people don't like Karen Reed for whatever reason. They don't like her. They don't like the way she looks, the way she moves. She comes from money. She just sold her house for like $800,000. John, you got yourself a good one, John. Got yourself a good girl, John. You really did. She had a nice house. She had money. John, man, you did the right thing with that, for sure. And it's hard to get a girl to understand your situation. Never mind that my sister died and then my brother-in-law died and now I'm taking care of these kids, right? And then you got Karen. Perfect timing, right? Nostalgia. Nostalgia. Funny thing, nostalgia, isn't it, John? It's actually crazy because the pandemic hit. Pandemic made everybody more soft, more realistic. Not that mattered when when it was pandemic time, you realize everything was real. You realize that people dying, people getting sick. Then the BLM hit that summer. New president. It was just crazy and chaotic. And through that time, it was just, we had to wear masks and everything was just different. Everything was just a weird energy. But what it did was it made a lot of us get closer. We understood that life is short. God forbid. Imagine that. Imagine if that happened. Right? John. And then you got with Karen. Nostalgia. You got with her back in 2004. She'd been through a lot. She lost her colon. She got a brain tumor. She's a sick girl. People didn't understand her situation. Imagine that. She gets with a guy. She got all these different issues. In the hospitals, having major surgeries. Most guys her age never even got their wisdom teeth pulled. John. Probably never even had root canals. And here she is having major surgeries. Who's going to understand that? But here you come. Pandemic time, perfect time, because you can reflect on pain and trauma. You're a Boston police officer. You see it every day. You understand. And you also understand loss. Because back in 2014, when you lost your sister from cancer, killed you, hurt you really bad. Then the brother-in-law. And what hurt you more is them kids, John. I'm sure of it. I don't know you, John. Never met you. But then all of a sudden, that night you're drinking, and through all that love that you guys had for the last couple of years in 2022, from 2020 to 2022, love, the door started opening now, right? People started going back outside. Things are starting to get back to normal, so to speak. And all of a sudden, dirty air starts getting between the both of you guys. Because people put dirty air, whether it's Jim McCabe or Higgins or whoever it was, just puts dirty air between people. People live for that. Some people live for that, John, and you knew that. And that night, you knew that's what Higgins was trying to do with Brian A. Keep dirty air between you. And you knew you lived in Canton. You can't have that. You guys are trying to keep this dirty air like you guys are gangsters. Okay, I'm going to show up to your house. I'm going to nip this in the butt right now on site. I'm going to go there and I'm going to speak to you guys right now because I don't want to deal with it tomorrow or the next day or run into you guys at the pizza shop. I don't want to talk about it no more. What the fuck do you guys want from me? Right, John? Is that the way we were looking at things that night? Because that's the way we get down, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. So most of you guys are familiar with my song, right? Let me pull this up real quick. We got God bless Teresa. Thank you so much, Teresa. God bless you. I don't want to miss nobody. We're in a real intimate chat. I don't want to get too hyped. I'm having coffee. Having coffee. Taking calls in a bit. I don't want to get too hyped. You guys know my song, Read Between the Lines. I want to give you the acapella real quick. The second verse, the acapella, and I want you guys to look at John's face while I give you the acapella. Listen to the sounds in the background. Let's listen.
Read between the lines. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would have told me he was feeling so erased. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Then you drove away. Don't chase waterfalls, read between lines, keep a fair view, protect your mind all times. Call 911, officer down, don't make a sound, there's an officer in the house. All I can feel is my phone vibrate. Wish you was here, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone close the gate. It's cold with a broken face. Please, Lord, not today. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would have told me he was feeling the way. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Then you drove away.
R.I.P. John O'Keefe. Officer John O'Keefe. Laying on his grass, I can hear the snakes. I wish you would have told me, Karen. He was feeling away. When he sent you that text in the bar, I seen that fear in your face. Then he texted me too. And before I could tell you shit was about to hit the fan, you drove away. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Read between lines. Keep a fair view. Protect your mind all times. Call 911. Officer down. Don't make a sound. There's an officer in the house. Brian Albert, huh? All I could feel is my phone vibrate. I wish you was here, Karen, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone closed the gate. It's cold with a broken face. Please, Lord, not today. Please, Lord, not today.
Read.
Crazy. Woo-wee. John O'Keefe. R.I.P. Well, one thing we know for sure, Jeff, is that John O'Keefe is dead. 6 feet under. He's never coming back. Our life goes on. Whether it was taillights on the lawn that Proctor put there, which that's what we believe, Jeff, and we know you don't believe that. You don't believe that. Why would you believe that? You're looking at it from a simple way. But we also know this, don't we? Jeff, we know this.
Me too. Then you drove away.
Check it out.
Because we know what happened. So that car ride, Matty M, you know what was being said. You know words and names were being dropped. And you know it was an on-site situation. Isn't that right, Matty M?
John O'Keefe had texted my wife, and my wife had called him. He was asking where to. We think he was asking for the where to, where's the address. So she called him to tell him. The Bluetooth was on. Again, I could hear his conversation.
Yeah.
My assumption is the Bluetooth was on.
Right, you can hear both sides of the conversation, correct?
I could hear John as well, yes.
Yeah, your wife and John, correct?
Well, yes, I was sitting next to my wife. I could hear her.
And you heard John tell your wife that he was planning to go to 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes. Either I was also talking, so I don't know if my wife was repeating, but yes.
See, Matty M was on the backup. Matty M was on the backup, Jeff. Where's my evidence? You know where my evidence is? See the 6 inches right here? Right here? It's about 6 inches, my forehead. You like that Celtics hat, Jeff? Pretty good team, huh? But anyway, see the 6 inches in my forehead? That's my real estate, where my brain is. Piece of real estate, Jeff. It's my brain. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. Because we knew it was a fight at 11:58, Jeff. We seen it. We seen John say, "Come here." He didn't get out the car and he got hit by a car, and then they don't know nothing about it, and everybody left that night. And nobody's seen a thing, Jeff. 7 people. It wasn't a football field, Jeff. Where's the evidence? There's no evidence. You're right, Jeff. There's no evidence as far as DNA evidence or anything to prove concrete proof for the witnesses, but they're witnesses, right? They charged this whole thing wrong. That's all this is, Jeff. If they would do it the other way around, there would be evidence. If we could use them pulling out the driveway with 7 people not seeing it, and they were the defendants, and we could call them the defendants, and we could put them on the other side and give them a bail, there would be evidence, Jeff. But that ain't what the Norfolk County did. They made them the witnesses and excused the evidence against them. And that's where the corruption comes in, Jeff. And dare I say, that's a motherfucking fact. Jeff.
Matty M, you just was in 34 Fairview having a good time, right? You and your wife and your family, and John never came in the house. That's a fact, right?
John never went in the house. It's not a story, it's a fact.
It's such a sweet sensation.
The vibration's good like sun-kissed. Many want to know who done this.
Didn't text Karen, correct?
No, I didn't.
But you did text John.
Yes.
The front door, K.
It's good. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
Guy never went in the house. That was you talking about how you should all get your stories straight, correct?
No. That's part of the same text. Yes.
Mr. McCabe, who was the guy that you were referring to? Does he have a name?
That would be John. John O'Keefe.
Jeff. GPS stayed. He never entered the house. Okay. The guy, Jeff. The guy. These people, all these guys, all these people are just very, they don't have no compassion. You know, they say compassion is power, Jeff. And what you're doing right here, man, you know, tonight's just a mellow night. Beautiful late night chat with an intimate chat. We got Cheryl in here. We got Kim in here. We have Linda Mitchell. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Linda's got something to say. Where did 3 liters of blood go? It was in the basement and the cops never went in the house. That's right, Linda. This is true. Jeff, that's what Garino said. Is the evidence said different. Hey, JFK in chat. Peace massage. See, Jeff, he turned his GPS on, right? His wave. It said the wave GPS. Even if he turned his GPS on, right? It was in front of the house. I don't know why it would move if he walked in the house. Like right now, if I turn my GPS on and put it at an address and I'm in front of the house, it's not going to move. It's going to say you're here. I think you got to move a little bit more. And like I said, I'm just speculating how that goes. But he turned on his GPS for 34 Fairview when he got on the street. Is this what you're referring to, Jeff? Because if he was already at the house, I don't think that it would say, oh, he moved. His health data says otherwise, though. So if you're going to believe the GPS, you're not going to believe the Apple health data. So you know what I mean? It's just like back to the yin and the yang thing. Jeff, they charged the people wrong. They're on the stand, Jeff. You see these people calling him the guy, worrying about who's digging up yards and the Asian people and group chats. Never once did you hear them ever say poor John. Never once in a group chat. Has there been a text that came out at all that said, sorry guys, has there been a text that came out yet inside this fuckery of them showing any compassion? Like, poor John, I can't believe it. None of it. Everything is, hey, I'm going to send you a gift, and nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying any type of compassion or really trying to I have yet seen a text at all. 2 a.m. butt dials. That alone, Jeff, if the shoe was on the other foot and they arrested them, they was a witness. And that's the thing, Jeff. They're lucky Karen doesn't have a good memory or whatever it might be with Karen. Maybe Karen does. Maybe Karen does know something, and she's going to become a witness. And your witnesses are going to become the defendant. And the evidence that you say we don't have becomes evidence because of a witness. Think about that. Probable cause when guy was invited to the house is laying on the guy's lawn with one shoe on, no coat. That's enough to go in the house. Absolutely, Miss Ash. Absolutely. Well, listen, we're going to do this, right? We're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to talk to the beautiful people on this late night with JFK. We're going to open it up. Let me throw the number up there, people. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yes. Anybody that want to call, you want to speak out, Jeff, feel free to call, Jeff. Tonight, we're honoring John O'Keefe because it don't matter about the evidence. My evidence is this. John O'Keefe was a Boston cop. People at that bar were throwing their hands up. Someone like Jeff to even say that that wasn't a fight. Do you agree that that was some type of animosity or some type of rage? Jeff, do you believe that? Like that was some type of beef? Now, we don't know if that transpired to a fight. Of course, we don't know that. We definitely don't know that. Factual, we don't know that. But we do know that's the direction it was going, right? So when he went there, he didn't go there to drink and they didn't make up. And then you could say, well, right before they went to go make up, Karen just killed him. Well, then that would be lucky for them. But the problem is, Jeff, the evidence, when they bring it up in the next trial, is that they never mentioned it in the last trial. Your boy Higgins never said, before I left, I got in a little heated argument or I was a little tanked up and I threw up my hands and, I told John if he wants to step outside, we could do that. And, Clean Chris A never said I had to stop Higgins from fighting John. Because what if he never grabbed John's arm? Would he have fought John? That's the question, Jeff. There's your evidence. Question is, did it spill over to 34 Fairview? Now, some would say, no, it didn't spill over. No, she ran him over before they could fight. Well, lucky Higgins, but they never mentioned that. But they will now, though, Jeff. Oh, they will now. Phone lines are open. I'd like to speak to some people. It's 11:34.
It doesn't mean to hurt any. And don't take it seriously.
Sir, did you make any phone calls after you went to bed between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian.
From
Jimmy.
You're live with JFK. How we doing?
JFK, what's up? It's Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy? What you want to talk about tonight?
Of course it was probable cause, man. His face was bashed in. When they first looked at him, they thought it was a fight.
So how could it not be probable cause? The only reason they didn't go in the house is because they didn't want to cross Brian and end up like John.
True. You're right, Jimmy. Jimmy, where you calling
Yeah.
from? Jimmy again.
I'm in Brighton, man.
You're the one
I called you when I was. I hurt my back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're back. You're back. I'm just making sure I got the right Jimmy. Yeah. So how's your back doing, Jimmy? How we doing?
It's doing a bit better, man. It is. Thank you, man.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, they definitely had probable cause. They most certainly did. I mean, the whole just off. Can we all agree on this? Like, even if she did do it, right? Like, I'm just saying, disclaimer. Even if she was straight guilty, and they had all that evidence against her, she could beat this case just off conflict of interest. They all knew each other. They weren't even supposed to be investigating the case, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know
that's
what
a
I
good
mean?
point.
Like, you think about it. Like, even if you would, I mean, murderers get let go all the time. People walk all the time for crimes they commit. She got a good case, whether or not, for beyond a reasonable doubt. And I always stood on that every time I ever spoke.
Oh my God, there's so much reasonable doubt.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, man.
So I mean, I always said this. There's way too much reasonable doubt just on conflict of interest and just on the way they went about the crime scene and the what ifs. And all it takes is the jury to say, well, hey, something else could have happened, and that's it. And that's always been their line of the way they were going to go about this case. And they weren't trying to solve the murder. They weren't trying to do it. Unfortunately, people like Jimmy want Yannetti and Jackson and the team to solve the murder. They're in the business of not solving shit. They're in the business of not having their client get found guilty.
Get her off.
That's it.
Of course.
That's it. So
no.
But unfortunately,
of course, like me and you really would like to see them hang for what they did because he was a good cop and he didn't deserve what he got.
He was a good dude, man. He was a good dude at the end of the day. I mean, he did the right thing, regardless.
Yeah.
In 2014, when his sister died, Jimmy,
exactly.
And then the brother-in-law died, he stepped up. We both know, we know, Jimmy, man, men are egotistical maniacs. They don't want their space crammed, right? And he crammed his space up for them kids.
Yep. And the way they like wanted to say Colin wasn't in the house makes me think that like Colin might have been the one that suckered him when they got there, and then it was on, and they just freaking like a pack of wild animals. That's kind of the way, because he looks like he took a serious beating, man. And
well, Colin said he never fought anybody in his life.
Oh yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like it's back to that shit. Like, why is he saying that? Why is he like? Why if you did fight somebody, which he did, Turtle Boy got the tapes, and we all seen the way he talks. He definitely was a troublemaker, regardless of whether he won a fight, got in a real fight, whatever how you want to call these little issues that he had. Yeah. But he wanted to act like, then he hit the bag. He said, "Oh, I don't hit the bag. That's not boxing. I hit the bag for cardio." Like we all know, if you hit the bag, you're trying to hit the bag to not, to learn how to punch better. To learn your technique, to have sophisticated knuckles. Shout out to my man Brad. And then he tried to dumb that down. And the fact that people
because he idolized Brian.
Yeah. And that's okay. That's okay. Just say that. If you didn't do anything, just say that. But you did something, so you can't say that. So like I said, this is just a flip-flop case. They want our defense team to be the prosecutors to find them guilty on the stand. They want us to solve the case. That's not the way this works. That's why it's totally ass backwards and flip-flopped. It's not up to Yannetti and not up to Jackson to find them guilty or figure out how they did it and how they could have manipulated this whole shit. That's not up to them. Right. They just need to let everybody know there's no way she could have done it.
I think they've already proved them guilty. From what I mean, they did the 227. You can't believe the Google search. You can't believe Life 360. You can't believe the health data. I mean, what the fuck can you believe?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Why would people? Why? And here's the biggest issue. Why wouldn't they be on a live stream right now? Or why wouldn't they go on a TV show and speak on it?
Ranting and raving that they didn't do it.
Right? I would. I mean, I'm just.
Of course.
It's back to this 6-inch.
They don't even have a text message like you said. I went back and looked at your show. That show you talked about where you said that. And they would have had text messages saying, "Hey, do you think Karen hit him? Maybe the snowplow driver hit him. Maybe it wasn't Karen, something like that." But they got nothing like that in there.
Exactly. Why they automatically assume Karen did it? Karen
They
was
got stuff saying, "Don't tell them the guy never was in the house," and sneaky texts like that because they're guilty as shit.
They're guilty. They did something. And the thing is, it's like I said, this is not about Karen Reed tonight. This is about Officer John O'Keefe, and it's always going to be about Karen Reed, obviously, because we gotta find her not guilty to get justice for John. But we're not going to harp on what Karen knows or what she don't know. But we do know one thing for sure: she was in that car ride on the way there. So whether she heard something or she felt different vibrations and she read it wrong, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, because you would think that she might have known, like there could have been a possible confrontation, and
well,
maybe
I'll tell
she
you,
feels bad.
I'll tell you this: who didn't read it wrong? Maddie M on the backup didn't read it wrong because he was on the Bluetooth. He said, right? He was hearing everything.
Right.
And John texts, what's the address? He didn't just text. Hey man, John just text Jen McCabe, just give me the address. And then Jen just decided to call him. And then he hung up with Jen at the 46 seconds and called again for 36 seconds. So, what were they talking about? And then all of a sudden the text message when he pulled up and she texted him at 12:20, I think 12:31. She texted, excuse me, I don't think it was 12:31. It was 12:20 something. Whenever she texted him here with question mark, exclamation point. Then at 12:29, there was an 8-second phone call from Jen to John O'Keefe that never was answered allegedly, but they said it was answered.
Right. Yeah, but I think in her sick scheme in mind, she was sending more text and phone calls after Karen had left, just trying to, I'm guessing, cover things up. Because didn't she?
What is this?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. What is this? Stop JFK. She earned every dollar on her own. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
I don't even. Where did I say she didn't earn any money? When did I ever say that? When did I ever say that? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is like, Sue, do me a favor. Do me a favor, Sue. Right? Just leave the chat, please. You don't know what you're talking about. All due respect.
What the hell? No one mentioned money.
No one mentioned money. At the beginning of my summation, I talked about she had an $800,000 house. I said that she was that she was paid. She had a good job. You know what I mean? She did the right thing, and John got a good girl. I never said that she didn't earn no money. I never said that. I didn't say she didn't earn it. I never said that.
Of course. She could have bought the freaking house 20 years ago. I mean, what the hell?
And even if she did come from money or whatever, who cares? That's a good thing. When I have kids, I want my kids to be well off. I want to continue to be great. And when I go, I want them to have it. So what's wrong with that? Like, I just don't get it.
I don't envy anybody else who's fortunate, Good for them.
Right. So Jimmy, what else you want to talk about? Jimmy. Jeff is in the chat. Jeff is in the chat. He's saying, Kim, we're all in the conspiracy. How to believe, Jeff. We got good cops, not corrupt cops. Go ahead. I'll just let you run it. Go for it.
So check it out. The video of her truck at her house shows that taillight intact. Where are the 40 pieces that were on the lawn before that? You're looking right at the taillight. It's right there. I don't get it. Isn't that it? Case closed? I don't get it. And then the one piece that the girl, what was her name? Kerry Zataka, that girl. That piece that she said was in that perfect location. That's the one piece they never found, because that's the piece that got broken, and it probably fell off on the way down Washington Street or whatever. That's why they never recovered it. And then they smashed the rest of it and scattered it on the lawn day by day.
Wasn't there an inverted video or something like that, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah, they had the inverted video, and when they freaking tried to put it the other way, it was all scrambled.
I mean, what the fuck is going on?
From the library when she would have been driving by, that time just suddenly was missing. I mean, it's just, you got to be foolish to believe all these things are just freaking coincidences. It's a conspiracy. And I mean, and even watching the court case.
But think about it. When they pulled the inverted video, I think we're about to say the same thing. When they pulled up the
Yeah.
inverted video, they never said it was inverted at first. They didn't say, "Oh, but
No.
okay, we made a mistake. It's inverted for whatever reason it might have been," right? But the
Exactly.
timestamp wasn't inverted.
Yep.
The timestamp,
Yep.
it would. Luckily, they caught that. Action Jackson
Oh,
caught
I
that.
know. Right.
Imagine that
Yeah,
sitting
they
in
were trying.
court and catching that.
Yeah, they knew it was inverted. They were trying to freaking pull a fast one.
But just imagine being Alan Jackson, dude, going through what you're going through. They pull the video up, you're all into it, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, they really weren't by the taillight. You're saying to yourself, shit, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you look, you see the police on the car, the old police car, and it was backwards. And you're like, wait a minute.
You know who noticed it? It was Karen. Karen whispered it to him. She said it's backwards.
Oh, did she?
I saw it on the tape. Yeah.
See?
She goes, it's backwards. She saw the backwards 4.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's amazing, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah.
It's not. Listen, This is what you got to understand at the end of the day. Anybody that's on their side, the replay crew, if you're just coming in, we love you too. Appreciate all the love. And anybody that watches this that's on the troll status, that running the trolling investigation and wondering what am I going to say next, and you hate me, but you're just watching anyway. I just got something to say to you. If the shoe was on the other foot, they have more than enough evidence against these people. They lying about everything. The only thing that's saving them is that they charged Karen. That's the only thing that's saving them. Let me tell you, if they flip this around and they charge them, there's not going to be a mistrial for them. I can tell you that right now.
They're so lucky that she backed into that truck and cracked her taillight. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and then she said my taillight's cracked, and they just ran with it.
You know, I have my theories about the taillight, you know, and I think obviously it definitely could have been cracked on that car, but it also could have been, it doesn't matter where it was cracked. We just know that it didn't happen the way they're saying it happened. There wasn't 42 pieces of taillight on that lawn when 7 people left that house and no one noticed a 6'2" guy. And you got to look at the wind
and they
gust.
didn't find one piece in 3 inches of snow. They couldn't find one piece, and then in 20-something inches of snow, they found 5.
I'll pull up a video when we get off the phone, Jimmy. The wind gust that day on the snow, to be fair, the wind gust could have covered John, because it was the weird type of blizzard to where, like, you walk out your house and there's no snow in the front of you on your stairs, but you take 3 steps down and it's up to your knees. So, but when you look at the footage when they pulled up in the house from the hospital that morning, so they're in the midst of the blizzard, right? This is when the shit was going down, right? When you look at Karen's car and you look when she was pulling in the when they were pulling in the driveway to take the car, there was mad snow. But the actual driveway itself, well, then again, I'm wrong.
But that was 12 hours later.
I'm thinking. I think that what do you call it? Paul O'Keefe shoveled the driveway. So I'm wrong about that. So discard that. Yeah. So, but it still was, gusty type winds or whatever, and it could have put some snow on top of them, but not at 1 a.m. You know what I mean? Maybe that morning there could have been some. Obviously, there was snow on them.
It only just started snowing around midnight,
but not at that time. Not at that time. There's just no way, and it's not the size of a football field. People want to embellish and act like it was huge. I mean, I play the video all the time.
I really feel bad, for Peggy and Paul O'Keefe. I mean, it's terrible that their son. It's just unfortunate that they got played by a master manipulator, man. I mean, that lady, she can talk her way out of anything. I'm telling you, she's just she was made for the role, man.
I like that.
She's evil. Yeah.
I like that. She was made for this, right?
Yeah.
And that's a hell of a role someone's going to play in this movie. Like, you might want to audition for the Jen McKay role, right?
Yeah, it was like she said to the family, "Stand back, family. I got this."
Yeah, she did. That's exactly what she. Yeah. That's exactly was her mindset going into it.
Yeah.
How insane is that?
And I was watching, because I went back and I was watching, like, when the final arguments, when he was showing that her taillight was intact when they were towing the car, and Peggy and Paul, they wouldn't even look at the screen. They just have it in their mind. Karen's guilty. They won't even look. Like they don't even look.
Well, it's back to the way this just played out. It's exactly what you just said. She was made for this role, and it just played out the
Yeah.
way it played out. Like Turtle Boy was made for what he did. Like the timing of everything, of like the way Turtle Boy goes about his journalistic ways, and the way the
Right.
internet is. It all just was a
Exactly.
combustion.
Yeah.
And Peggy and them just don't understand. Some things just organically melt together and just is what it is, right? And she just wants to believe,
Right.
no, I can't believe that. There's just no way. There's got to be. She's thinking more of a conspiracy between the way they paint it. He's a blogger. She paid him, and they put a fake story up. That's the way she wants to believe it, but not when you start adding up all the evidence on our side. Just like you said, 42 pieces of tail light was not on the lawn.
Samantha here puts up a great point. It's polycarbonate. That stuff is like really, really hard to break. There's no way from hitting a body that's going to break into 40 something pieces. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And it's not there on the lawn. You would see it. You know what I mean? The lawn in front of that. That's what I'm saying. I wish the people who own the house was free Karen Reed people. I don't know their take on this, but if they were, they could be like doing lives every night from 34th Fairview, killing the game right now, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We could be doing lives on the lawn, saying, "Hey, look at this! I'm laying on the lawn. Can anybody see me?"
Right. Yeah.
The fact is, I don't even want to go by there because I'm worried that if you go by there, someone calls a cop, police pull up. Next thing you know, they find some fucking shit they're not supposed to find that wasn't even there, and now you're getting set up and thrown on the docket. They'll make an intimidate.
Right.
They'll say, "Oh, you had a Kit Kat in his pocket," and whatever it might be, stole it from 7-Eleven. They'll get you with anything out there, and so it's scary to even I thought about that though, Jimmy. I thought about going to that lawn and laying down in that grass. Especially
Right.
and sitting there and having someone pull out and having the, cameras and just from all different angles.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it. Case closed. Throw stuff on the grass. My buddy said, Brad, he made a great point. He said if there was a tennis ball on that grass that night, you would have seen it.
Yeah, because the snow illuminates everything. With the lights, it reflects the light of the car. It's just going to make it that much brighter. Like imagine flashing your lights on dirt or on white snow, bright white snow. It's going to light it up.
It's crazy, man. It really is. Well, you're here with JFK and my guy Jimmy from Brighton. We're on the late night coffee chat on this beautiful Saturday night, and we're just R.I.P. John O'Keefe.
The chat's going crazy with pro Karen, so
the guy Jeff.
Everyone's pro Karen. Oh yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing about Jeff. I think he picked the wrong live to jump in talking about evidence tonight because I didn't start the live in that. I started that Maddie M was on the backup, and was it just fair to say that leaving the bar when we seen John, put his hands the way he put his hands, that when he got out that car, it wasn't no friendly thing going on,
Yeah, I don't like insulting anybody, but I watched that guy Plevin on TV, and he's a freaking head case.
Talk about that. Talk to that. Tell me what you feel about that.
Who, Plevin?
Yeah, let me know what's up.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Just I don't know. I really don't listen to him. I was just like listening to some of the nonsense. I can't even remember what I was listening to what he said today. I can't even remember what it was. So outrageous. I couldn't even believe it.
What's type of stuff? Yeah, he says he tries to get factual with the GPS data, and she could have hit him.
Yeah, that's right. He was talking about the car stuff.
You know what's crazy?
To tell you,
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead. You go.
That still worries me because now they're like saying, okay, now they're going to bring the car to Texas, and I'm hoping that Karen's going to have some people there, damn straight, making sure that there's no funny business, no messing around with it.
Yeah.
But it's done on the up and up,
Yeah, I think you said that before too. Yeah, you're right about that. That's scary. Scary. I'm sure she will.
Yeah, she's gotta.
Yeah, they're on top of that. You know, Alan Jackson is not. You know,
They gotta be. Absolutely.
Alan's a pitbull, man. You know, Yannetti's
Right.
poetic. You know, Yannetti's somewhat comical up there, isn't he? When he was like,
Oh yeah,
when
he's funny as hell.
what's that
Don't
thing?
say of course. And
Yeah,
I thought it was funny when she goes, "No more of course," and he goes, "Of course."
And she laughed too. Yo,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like one of the best things ever. But the way he keeps going over things, he was like, he's telling this guy, McCabe, Matty M on the backup. He's like, so Brian Albert is Chris Albert's big brother, right? He's like, yep. And that's the little brother of Brian Albert. Yep. And there and blah, blah, blah. Like he just goes down, like he'll keep going and going and going. And if you know what I mean, just to nail home his point, just to get you off the pivot, to get you mad. And he did that. He did that to Matty. Like he was comical, but yet throwing jabs at him. You know what I mean? Slick. He's very poetic, man. Poetic justice. And you know, and Alan Jackson, he's just like, come on, you're wasting my fucking time. If it's a duck, it walks like a duck. Really? He told Colin when he was like, I fell down with the knuckles. He was like, really?
Right.
You know, he don't care.
Yeah.
So, you know, objection. You know, he's like, okay, my bad. I'll strike that.
Oh yeah, he'll throw it out there. Yeah, shame on you, sir.
Yeah, shame on you. Like he's slick, man. He's slick.
Yeah.
And he's like, what am I, a piece of, what did he say? What am I, a piece of chopped liver to Higgins and shit? You know, and
you know what?
So true.
Yeah. You know what bugs me is people say, "Oh, she went out and got a Hollywood lawyer and tried to make it a media circus." No, she went out and got the best lawyer she could get because she was being tried for murder and spending the rest of her life in jail. So she did absolutely what she had to do.
The way they try to pin the murder on her, they try to say she took the corner, came back, seen him there, then got Jen, and this was all the scam because she knew what she did. See, here's the thing with me. I always said it back to just keeping it simple. She's not a criminal. She would have.
No.
There was 4 months between the indictment. Believe me when I tell you, and I always say this, Yannetti, before Jackson came on board, Yannetti was going in district court, was running around, seeing what type of pleas was on the table, plea bargains. And he brought it to her. Like, listen, you can catch a 2-year bid right now, a 2.5 with a 2.5, mean 5 years in a house of correction. You'll be out in 3 years. And he's poetic, right? Very poetic.
Yep.
Listen, you're 42. You'll be home in 3 years. You'll be 45. You'll be 45.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. You got the rest of your life. You can move somewhere else. You sell your house, blah, blah, blah. He would sell that to her. And she would think about it because at 42, you know, we're talking 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. At 42, you're not thinking that 3 years is a long time. It's not like you're 20 years old and someone says, hey, you're going to do 36 months. You're going to jump off a bridge. You're going to think your life is over. But at 42, you're like, I do 3 years. I get out when I'm 45. I can move on with this. She's not a criminal. If she really did it, she probably would have took the plea. But instead, and that was when it was just manslaughter. Instead, hell no, I didn't do it. I know I didn't hit him. Let's take it to the hoop. And then she gets charged on top by doing that. Then they flip it, paint a conspiracy, charge her with murder. And here we are. And she still ain't breaking. And she's not she's not a criminal.
Right.
So it's like just realistic facts that any person who ain't got a criminal mind would have already broke and already waved the white flag. And she didn't. So that says a lot.
I mean, we just mentioned a whole bunch of things that raise probable that say that she didn't do it. Sorry. Not even mentioning selling the house, getting rid of the dog, freaking, fixing up the basement. We didn't even mention them things because there's so many others. I mean, it's just, I can't see how she can't get off with reasonable doubt. That's the word I was looking for.
Nelson, thank you. JFK. Jen knows everything. She's the main event, or she'll talk, or she go in simple. Yep. You're right. She is the main event. She's the headline of the show. And the funny thing is, who's going to play her in the movie? Someone's going to want that. Someone's going to want that part, man, that role, because you could just get into being the
chick who played Sissy Spacek from Carrie.
There you go. Something like that. You know what I mean? Someone's going to want to dive deep into the mind of her, because you got to be somewhat cuckoo to be like this, to really get on the stand and be like, John was my friend. I loved him. I would never hurt him. But yet, see, Kerry Roberts, let's talk about you, Kerry. Doesn't every minute count, Kerry? Every minute counts, Kerry. You guys call 911, right? How long did it take them to get there? The ambulance is probably 7-8 minutes. In that 7-8 minutes, that could have saved John's life. You didn't. Why you should be mad at Jen that she didn't run in the house and tell Big Bad Brian A to come outside, because he's the only one in that predicament. Dare I say, as much as a piece of shit he is, knows what to do. And you didn't. Every minute counts, right, Jimmy? And you let 7-8 minutes go by because Jen didn't want to wake Big Bad Brian. Oh, they're not answering on the phone. Fuck all that. Run in the house. Grab the blankets. Do whatever you got to do. Get Big Bad Brian A. Because when Big Bad Brian A makes the phone call, it's a little bit different. Hey, this is Brian A, Sergeant, Detective, Boston Police. We have a Boston cop on the lawn. Help, help. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to be a different ball game. State troopers are landing from the sky. But that does not what happened, is it? It was the guy, right? Kerry Roberts. Did you ever think about that? Kerry, every minute counts. See, Kerry, you've never been in that situation, Kerry Roberts. Have you ever seen someone drop? I seen someone drop. I said this before on my live. I seen this woman drop not too long ago, Jimmy, in a TJ Maxx. It took 20 minutes. I was in Atlanta at the time. Took 20 minutes, and I'm not even exaggerating, not even embellishing, not even just bullshitting you. Took 20 minutes for the EMS and everybody to get there. Within that time, I seen her piss. You know, part of my friend, she peed herself and went to the bathroom and did the gurgle.
Did she live?
Yeah, she passed away right in my face, man.
Oh, damn.
Healthy woman, 50 years old.
Yeah.
So I seen it, and I was freaking out, and I didn't even know that lady. I didn't know that lady because I knew something was wrong. When I seen the breathing, I couldn't feel a pulse. I knew. I said, what the hell's going on? So every minute counts. But, Jimmy, I got another phone call. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to wrap this up. All right, Jimmy, thanks for the call, bro.
Good talking to you, man.
All right, my brother. Peace and love, man.
All right.
Call from
13 Kings.
to accept.
You're live with JFK. Who we talking with?
Hey, this is 13 Kings. What's up, JFK?
What's up, 13 Kings? How we feeling? What you want to talk about?
Well, about the case. You know, I think you've really got onto something with, you know, breaking down this, you know, the fight at the waterfall. I noticed you started doing it, and then, you know, Micro Dots kind of picked it up after that. But you know, I thought you did a kick-ass job with that.
I appreciate it.
I wish Double J James Jackson was on here, but that's okay.
Yeah,
JFK is good too.
Yeah, it's late night, you know, we're just being real. It's late night magic, you know what I'm saying? 13 Kings.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I would say I had a great time last night at Turtle Boys Halloween bash.
Oh yeah, how was that?
That was oh, it was good, dude. It was over in your neck of the woods, over in Malden. Yeah. Nice. I said to myself, I go, I wonder if she's gonna be there tonight.
Right? That would have been great. I didn't have the time to go out
there.
Yeah. I thought about it.
You know what? I had no plans either. Someone had tickets and they asked if I wanted them, and I ended up. I said, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll take them."
That's
awesome. So it was a good time though. I'm glad I went.
That's good, man. But, you got out and, you know, met some people, shook some hands, and, you know, had fun. That's what it's all about, right? Memories.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it's all about. Yeah, I got some good pictures, everything else.
Nice.
But you know, I just wanted to call and talk to you, like I said, and just tell you, you know, that you're doing a great job. You hopped on this thing a little bit late, but you picked right up. You know what I mean? Picked right up on it, and you picked up your own. You picked up you know, your own group of fans too, brother.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've been on this. You know, I remember when it first happened back in 2022. You know, I was watching the news like everybody else, and
yeah.
But what really got me on it was I seen the Young Jerks. You know, me and Mikey, we're cool with each other. I knew Mikey since like 2010. I knew Mikey, and so when I see Mikey talking to Turtle Boy, you know, they're two different type of energies. I said, hey, you know,
two completely different.
So I said, why are they talking to each other? And then you know, Turtle Boy, you know, he's got his reputation for what he does, and
of course he does. Yep.
So I didn't understand what the mix. I thought, you know, it was like he was against Mikey for something. So I clicked on and I started listening to what Turtle Boy was saying, and then Mikey started running with it. And then, you know, I took it amongst myself to figure out a way how I can have a voice in this. And I took my time, waited for the right time, and then here I am, you know. Shout out to Mikey, the Young Jerks, for helping me with that process, for sure.
Well, you've been doing a great job, brother. You've been doing a great job. Yeah, and it's amazing too how this I guess we call it a movement. How this movement has pulled together all kinds of different people. Like you said, I couldn't picture Turtle Boy or Mike from the Young Jerks talking. To be honest with you, I love Mike from the Young Jerks, but I bet you we have different political opinions. But that doesn't stop anybody. It keeps this movement going. Everybody everybody loves everybody.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're all on the same side. At the end of the day, we know that they're all full of shit. You know what I mean?
No doubt. We're all here for justice.
Absolutely, my
Justice
man.
for John O'Keefe.
So
There is no justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed.
That's a fact. And we gotta take care of Karen first. And with that being said, let me ask you this: do you think that Maddie M? You think it was a phone conversation about directions, or you think they were talking about something else after that bar footage that you've seen?
I think just like you said, I thought this all along. I think that either he caught wind of the text, like that, what's his name said, was like, well, because sometimes you get in your car and maybe the text will come up on your phone, on the screen, on the phone, or like you said, and I think, or like you said, he saw that happening and he said, fuck this, we're going over there. I'm going over there. And Jen probably called and he probably was in the background going, what the fuck did he just say? What did he say? All right, I'll be right over there. I agree with you on that one,
Right. Yep. Definitely 13 Kings. And so we did a live the other night. I seen you was in the chat, and I'll just throw this out there, just to have a talking point. Do you think that Karen should make a video in 2024, like a new soundbite, something new to kind of direct traffic to that waterfall video? Do you think that if she did a video like, hey, everybody, watch this waterfall video real close, and this will kind of open people's minds, do you think that she needs to step up to do that, or you think we're good just where we're at?
Honestly, you know what? I don't see any benefit that you would get out of that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even, some of these shows that she's doing, I can understand why she would do them. You know what I mean? But the way I was saying in the chat, like she doesn't really owe any of us an explanation on why. She just has to worry about getting off on this. And then, when she does get off, hey, write a fucking book, tell all, or even if you even if you don't, just write a book, tell all,
Yeah.
And she'll definitely do that. We just have to wait, have patience,
It's funny that you say that. She don't owe anybody an explanation. I seen that, 13 Kings in the chat, and I seen that, and I wanted to talk about that, and I'm glad you called. My thing is, I don't think she owes anybody shit, and I 100% agree with you. It started with, she don't have to prove her innocence. They got to prove her guilt. That's what it started with, right? I mean, and at the end of the day, she should be not guilty, regardless of how you look at it. There's way too much reasonable doubt. There was too much, conflict of interest. We'll just go there. We'll just start there. Never mind everything else, right?
Right.
So there was reasonable doubt. So that's what it should have been, right? But the way they drop these Dateline and 2020 videos, like in the timing of it, I don't think they meant it. But this Dateline just dropped in October, and
yeah,
and it's an 18-month-old video. You know what I mean? And it's
right.
That's my thing. It's it's
yeah. They should. I agree with you. There should be some news. I agree with you. They should do something.
And if there is a potential juror out there watching, and they're gonna go listen to what they're gonna listen to and try to be unbiased, they're gonna tap into a Plevelin, and then they're gonna go to the mainstream, right? They're gonna go to a they're gonna go to the Plevelin and go to the Turtle Boy, then they're gonna go to the Dateline and to the 2020. Now, the thing is, if we had a video with Karen going, hey, everybody, it's me, it's Karen. I just wanted to jump in here and say hello. Everybody check out this waterfall video and share it with all your friends. Bye, and hang up.
Right. Just point people in the direction. Yeah. I'm sure that's something that her lawyers are going to do, when this next trial comes out. We can all point at things that they didn't do that they should have done. Right. I think they should have got into that footage more in the first trial, but I think that I
don't think they had it. I think they had it, but they just slipped up on it because
they didn't break it down though. They didn't clean the video up like you had it. You had it all cleaned up and everything.
Let me say this: when Garino said she was connected to the internet at 12:36, they found that out right then and there too. They didn't know about that.
Right. They didn't know it.
If they knew about that, they would have been when Jen McKay was on the stand. They would have ate her up and brought that up. They never brought it up when she was on the stand. So towards the end in the summation of Alan Jackson, when you watched him, he brought it up in the summation. Hey, by the way, the video in the bar, check out the 11:58 footage. No one ever seen it.
Yeah.
And we all know that in Massachusetts, you can't go back and look at footage. So it was dead in the water. So we know it's not going to happen this time. That's why I think, like I said, it's just it's just an idea. I think maybe if out of nowhere, Karen just drops a little video and says, "Hey guys, I just want everybody to check this out to show that,
Yeah. I guess I could agree with that.
That going to the house, because I seen what you said in the chat, and I was like, he's right. I watch the chat as much as I can, especially when we got a bigger house.
Right.
Right now it's it's 140, a lot of people, so it starts moving, and I don't see everything, but I seen that because I always see you here supporting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, he's right. I don't want to
sound I've been here since day one.
I appreciate it.
Almost day one.
I appreciate that. And when I seen that, I was like, man, he's right. I don't want to sound like I feel bad now. I don't want to sound like I'm dissing Karen and feel like she needs to do something.
No, I didn't take it that way.
And I'm like, he's right though. She doesn't, because when I put the computer down and I go back, I think, when sometimes the conversations gets uncomfortable, when I gotta, not go in on Karen, but just be realistic about the whole thing as far as
right.
Know something else, and the Higgins thing was shady. That's not what
I will say. This you're the first one though on the Free Karen Reed supporters that actually touches on, hey, what about this? I think some people are just afraid to even touch on it, thinking that people might turn on them or whatever. But I appreciate the fact that you do touch on some of the parts that people for some reason won't go near. You know what I mean?
And I only bring that up because, this is something me and you would talk about if we was at the pizza shop. If we were down the North End right now, we would saying, hey, man, she did talk to Higgins, though, 13 Kings, man.
Yeah, dude, that was a...
You know what I mean? And listen, that was Karen in 2022. We're not talking about Karen in 2025 almost. You know what I mean? Things change, man, and I'm not trying to hold it to that. I'm just saying when it comes to the jury and it comes to trial, they're only going to be talking about 2022. And like I said in one, I say in my lives, the crazy part about this dirty, corrupted system, Karen could have kids right now, and they wouldn't care that she became a mother. They would still be trying her for allegedly what she did in 2022 and acting like that was yesterday. And she could be, every day going to the park with her kids, just learning how to be a mother, and they would still lock her up. So it's like, it doesn't matter. So it's what happens in 2022. And that's what we got to focus on. It's what happened in 2022. And sometimes it gets uncomfortable because I got nothing but respect for Karen,
Right. No, I can tell that. The scary part, right? The scary part of the whole situation is that could be any one of us. That could be any one of us. If something had just, you happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, or, you know what I mean? Like if they just decide, hey, we're going to focus in on this. They never even looked at any other people but Karen. They didn't even try to focus. I mean, when he called to get that car towed, he didn't even have any of the plastic from the tail light yet. You know what I mean? Like they just looked at her and that was it. They weren't focused. They weren't going to ask anybody in that house. They weren't going to ask anybody. They were just focusing on Karen, and she was going to pay for it.
And this poor girl got her whole colon removed, major surgeries, got a brain tumor. And this piece of shit is talking about she got no ass. Like, yo, bro, like,
oh, dude,
she should kill herself. Like, what the fuck is wrong with
who
you,
the fuck,
man?
Who the fuck says that, dude? Who says that? First of all, you're held to higher standards. You're a state cop. But I mean, we know how they can be sometimes too. Those stadies, they're never wrong. You know what I mean? They get that attitude. I don't say all of them. I'm not trying to offend all of them. But, you get pulled over by a state cop. It's a lot different than getting pulled over by a city cop or a town cop.
That's factual. Well, listen, 13 Kings, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm going to wrap this up, man, and nothing but love for you, man. I'll see you on the next one.
All right, brother.
I'll see you.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you, bro.
Later.
Peace, man.
Bye.
13 Kings, ladies and gentlemen. 13 Kings. I got a couple of super chats. Allison, thank you so much. Why do those witnesses get criminal lawyers? Of course. You're right. Because they're all no good. Got another one right here. How about those Dodgers? Love to y'all in the chat and mods. Free Karen Reed. We love you, James. Where you at? Hey, hope you're doing well, Sandy. Yeah, them Dodgers, man, they're not playing games for sure. No pun intended. Well, listen, people, nothing but respect for everybody. I came in. I appreciate everybody joining me on this late night. Nothing but respect. R.I.P. John O'Keefe. And I'm going to leave you with the acapella of Read Between the Lines. R.I.P. John O'Keefe. Listen close. Listen close. Peace.
Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would have told me he was feeling so erased. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Then you drove away. Don't chase waterfalls, read between lines, keep a fair view, protect your mind all times. Call 911, officer down, don't make a sound, there's an officer in the house. All I can feel is my phone vibrate. Wish you was here, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone close the gate. It's cold with a broken face. Please, Lord, not today. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would have told me he was feeling away. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Then you drove away.
In 88, back like we bringing 88 back.
JFK,
Like we bringing 88 back.
With so much drama, they stay lacking reflection. Always remain silent when they asking questions. Podcast and gossip, we stay stacking sessions. We idolize men because of platinum records. Curtains pulled back, I stay in center stage. You ain't no killer, they venture the case. You didn't ask for that time, you were trying to get away. Now you glorifying jail like it's 88.
Why? Read between the lines. Yeah. Why?
I know you feeling hurt, your mind flipped. That was a moment in time, can't rewind it. I seen your call, can't talk, declined it. Said I was sorry, liquor had me blinded. I know about your issues, you're not feeling well. What you going through, girl, is a living hell. Sometimes I bug out, I just flip and yell. Just come out tonight, we can sip and chill. I know about that night at the Pats game. You was real comfortable, and that's lame. When I bring it up, you act strange. That's okay, I ain't saying no names. Glad you pulled up though, we can take your legs. I told you before, that girl, see, that's my ex. You gotta chill, can't believe what you read in text. It's me and you right now, don't be complex. Now it's fine food, proper pints. Storm coming through after 2, lots of white. We gonna be snowed in, so let's stop the fights. I know you wanna talk, girl, but not tonight. Got a text by C, he at the other spot. He there with his brother in that other cop. JM over there too, she just a soccer mom. Let's head over there, see what they talking about.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.
Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would have told me he was feeling so erased. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Then you drove away. Don't chase waterfalls, read between lines. Keep a fair view, protect your mind all times. Call 911, officer down, don't make a sound. There's an officer in the house. All I can feel is my phone vibrate. Wish you was here, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone close the gate. It's cold with a broken face. Please, Lord, not today. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would have told me he was feeling away. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Coming here, then you drove away.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.